Welcome again to our podcast, everyone. We're so happy you're here with us today. I'm Ivy.
And I'm Luke. And today's episode is going to be a really fun one because we're talking about something that makes English confusing, funny, and sometimes just completely ridiculous.
Yes, today we're talking about funny English words, expressions, and idioms.
These are the phrases that make English learners stop and say, wait, what did you just say?
Exactly. The phrases that don't make sense when you translate them word for word.
And the kind of English that makes you laugh, feel confused, and then laugh again.
Don't worry, though. We're going to explain everything in very simple English with lots of examples.
And by the end of this episode, you'll understand some really common idioms and maybe even use a few yourself.
Okay, Luke, let's start with a big question. Why do you think English has so many strange expressions?
Honestly, I think English is just very creative. People like to describe feelings, situations, and problems in funny or dramatic ways.
And sometimes those creative descriptions stay in the language forever.
Exactly. And over time, people forget the original story, but they keep the phrase.
That's how we end up with sentences like, "It's raining cats and dogs."
One of the most famous idioms ever.
Yes, and for anyone listening who doesn't know this one, "It's raining cats and dogs" just means it's raining very, very hard.
Heavy rain, strong rain, a lot of rain.
But not actual animals falling from the sky.
Thank goodness.
Let's use it in a natural sentence. Wow, look at this street. It's raining cats and dogs.
Perfect example. But imagine being a new English learner and hearing that for the first time.
You'd probably look up at the sky in fear.
With an umbrella and a helmet.
Another very famous one is spill the beans.
Ah, yes. No kitchen required for this one.
Spill the beans means to tell a secret.
For example, come on, Ivy, spill the beans. What's the surprise?
What's interesting is that sometimes people spill the beans by accident.
Yes, they don't mean to tell the secret, but it just comes out.
And again, there are no real beans involved.
Which is disappointing for bean lovers.
Let's talk about one that sounds cute. Busy as a bee.
That means very busy.
Very active, always doing something.
For example, I've been busy as a bee all day. I didn't even have time for lunch.
Bees are always working, so this one actually makes sense.
Yes, for once, English is logical.
Not always, though. For example, something smells fishy.
Which does not mean there is actually a fish in the room. It means something feels wrong, strange, or dishonest.
Like when someone gives you a story that doesn't feel true.
For example, he said he forgot his wallet again. Something smells fishy.
And we say smells because your brain is telling you something is wrong.
Now let's go to one that scares learners. Break a leg.
Yes, this one sounds violent, but it actually means good luck.
People say it before performances, like acting, singing, presentations.
So, if someone says break a leg, they are wishing you success.
Not a trip to the hospital.
Let's move to another strong one. Cold as ice.
This can describe the weather or a person's emotions.
If I say the weather is cold as ice, that's just temperature.
But if you say he was cold as ice, it means he showed no emotion.
Very serious, very distant.
English really loves using weather for feelings.
Let's talk about fear now. Chicken out.
This means to be too afraid to do something you plan to do.
For example, I wanted to talk to my crush, but I chickened out.
And again, Poor chickens, always blamed for fear.
They deserve better.
Another very visual one is the elephant in the room.
This means a big problem that everyone knows about, but nobody wants to talk about it.
For example, everyone knows the company is losing money, but no one talks about it. It's the elephant in the room.
And again, no real elephant.
That office would be much more interesting with one, though.
Here's one that makes me feel nervous just thinking about it. Walking on eggshells.
That means being very careful about what you say or do.
Because someone is sensitive, angry, or easily upset.
For example, my boss is in a terrible mood today. We're all walking on eggshells.
You're afraid to say the wrong thing.
Exactly.
Now, a fun one for impossible situations. When pigs fly.
This means never. It will never happen.
For example, he says he'll stop being late every day. Yeah, when pigs fly.
If pigs ever do fly, English learners will be the least of our problems.
Now, let's switch from idioms to funny English words themselves.
Yes, some words just sound funny.
Like banana.
It's impossible to say banana angrily.
Try it.
Banana. Nope, still funny.
What about wobble
You can almost see the movement when you say it.
and giggle?
You usually giggle when you say giggle.
English has a lot of these sound words.
Words where the sound matches the meaning.
Now, let's shock our listeners with some real but strange English words.
First one, flabbergasted.
It means extremely surprised.
For example, I was flabbergasted when I saw my exam result.
Another great one is gobsmacked.
Very common in British English.
It also means very shocked.
If you hear a native speaker say, I was gobsmacked, they were really surprised.
Now, let's talk about confusion now. English has so many ways to say, I'm confused.
Yes, like, I'm all over the place.
That means you feel disorganized mentally or emotionally.
Another one is, I can't wrap my head around it.
Meaning, I don't understand it.
You don't actually wrap your head with anything.
Thankfully.
Now, let's talk about speed.
Sure. Slow as a turtle.
Very slow.
Or fast as lightning.
Extremely fast.
Again, animals and nature everywhere.
Now let's talk about awkward moments.
One of the worst ones, put your foot in your mouth.
This means you said something embarrassing or rude by accident.
For example, I asked her when the baby is coming, but she wasn't pregnant. I really put my foot in my mouth.
That feeling when you want to disappear.
Yes, every human knows that feeling.
Why do you think native speakers use so many idioms, Ivy?
I think it's because idioms make language emotional and colorful.
They also make speech shorter.
Instead of explaining everything, you just use one phrase.
But for English learners, idioms are often one of the hardest parts.
Very true. Even advanced learners struggle sometimes.
So, an important question, should learners use idioms?
Yes, but slowly and carefully.
Start with very common ones.
And always learn them in full sentences, not alone.
Because if you use an idiom in the wrong situation, it can sound strange or confusing.
Or very funny.
And speaking of funny, let's share a couple of real misunderstanding stories.
I had a student who heard break a leg before a presentation.
Oh no.
They thought the speaker was being rude or angry.
But they were actually being kind.
Another student heard chicken out and said, but I like chicken.
Logical, but incorrect.
So let's give our listeners some simple tips for learning idioms.
Tip number 1, don't try to memorize 1,000 idioms at once.
Yes, that's a terrible idea.
Tip number 2, learn them with context.
Always with examples.
Tip number 3, Watch movies, shows, and videos in English.
Native speakers use idioms naturally.
Tip number 4. Try using one new idiom each week.
Not even every day, just one per week is enough.
And if idioms feel hard right now, that's completely normal.
You are not bad at English.
Your brain is just learning something new.
And one day, you'll hear an idiom and understand it instantly.
That moment feels amazing.
Before we finish, let's play a quick game.
I'm ready.
I'll say an idiom and you say the meaning.
Let's do it.
Hit the books.
Study.
Under the weather.
Feeling sick.
Piece of cake.
Very easy.
Perfect score.
I trained all my life for this moment.
And with that, we've reached the end of today's episode.
We talked about funny English words, strange expressions, and confusing idioms.
We hope you laughed a little.
And learned a lot.
If you enjoyed this episode, share it with another English learner.
And remember, making mistakes is part of learning.
You don't need to be perfect.
You just need to keep practicing.
Thank you so much for listening.
We'll see you in the next episode.
Bye.
Bye.
And now you can practice with me these expressions and words we talked about today. Don't worry, just listen first and then repeat after me. Try to say the words out loud. Let's begin. It's raining cats and dogs. It's raining cats and dogs. Spill the beans. Spill the beans. Busy as a bee. Busy as a bee. Something smells fishy. Something smells fishy. Break a leg. Break a leg. Cold as ice. Cold as ice. Chicken out. Chicken out. The elephant in the room. The elephant in the room. Walking on eggshells. Walking on eggshells. When pigs fly. When pigs fly. Flabbergasted. Flabbergasted. Gobsmacked. Gobsmacked. All over the place. All over the place. Wrap my head around it. Wrap my head around it. Slow as a turtle. Slow as a turtle. Fast as lightning. Fast as lightning. Put your foot in your mouth. Put your foot in your mouth. Hit the books. Hit the books. Under the weather. Under the weather. Piece of cake. Piece of cake. Great job! If you repeated those out loud, you're doing exactly what you should be doing to improve your English. You can listen to this part again anytime, in practice as many times as you like. Repetition builds confidence.